Hello everyone, welcome to the House of European Football here in Nyon, Switzerland for the 2025-26 UEFA Champions League knockout phase playoff draw. Now it would be fair to say that we're really just getting our breaths back, right? After what was a thrilling conclusion to the league phase on Wednesday, which provided football fans around the world with yet another unforgettable evening of top-notch football. 18 simultaneous matches were always going to provide drama, but nobody could have predicted exactly the magic that would unfold. Goalkeeper Anatoly Trubin's 98th minute header sent Benfica through to the knockout phase by the narrowest of margins. Their 4-2 victory knocked opponents Real Madrid into the playoffs, while crosstown rival Sporting's last gap winner in Bilbao against Athletic also propelled them into the top 8. Elsewhere, Bodo Glimt's impressive away win at Atletico de Madrid sent them through to the knockout rounds for the very first time, and in total 61 goals hit the back of the net on a classic night of Champions League action. Here's a quick reminder of how it all went down.
All to play for right across the continent of Europe. A night of unscripted sporting drama and potentially chaos ahead of us.
Ese primer lanzamiento que termina en gol. And Dembele sees it saved by Pope. La frappe. Le PSG prend devant 1-0. Haaland. Was there ever any doubt? Oh, what an answer! Havertz coming inside and going for goal. He's going to win his header and it's in the back of the net and equalise! Marco! Puxa para empatar a tira! Again! Gånger to, gånger tre! Åh, Karlsson! Har du sett? TK, can he finish it? Of course he can. Pedro made the run for the shot brilliantly. What a way to equalise. Trincao again. That is a magnificent goal.
Με φάλτσα η κεφαλιά του Έρσε, η μπάλα στα δίχτυα, ο Ολυμπιακός κάνει το 2-1. Dropped and it scores!
João Pedro looks to go alone! Oh, what a performance in this second half! That is clinical!
And Athletic Club escaped thanks to their goalkeeper, but not now! Alisson Santos with a goal that means so much to Sporting!
If they can get a goal, they head into the top 24.
Wow, I'm sure you'll agree that was a UEFA Champions League night to remember. Congratulations to the teams who eventually finished in the top 8 and automatically progressed to the round of 16. Well done to Arsenal, of course, who had a perfect record. Bayern, Liverpool, Tottenham, Barcelona, Chelsea, Sporting and Manchester City. And we'll see all of you back in action in March. But of course, before then, there is plenty more excitement to come in this iconic competition as we prepare to take the next steps towards the big final in Budapest on the 30th of May. Today's playoff draw involves the teams that finished the league phase ranked between 9th and 24th, of course. Among them are the current holders, former champions, and a couple of first-timers as well. Let's take a closer look at all of those who are involved. all right. Some great action there, of course, but who will meet who in the knockout phase playoffs? That's what we will find out very shortly. Time to invite the man on stage who will be presiding over today's draw, and that is, of course, UEFA Deputy General Secretary Giorgio Marchetti. Welcome, Giorgio.
Thank you, Pedro.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you all, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's again the time of in or out shocks for the UEFA Champions League. Those matches that the fans love for the shivers they send down the spine, and fear at the same time for the serious challenge they bring to their hearts. But now we have become accustomed to another crazy set of emotions, which is match day 8 of the league phase. A year ago, you certainly remember, we were unprepared, and we ended up overwhelmed by the irresistible drama of goals scored every minute, changing the fate of teams, upsetting the ranking and scrambling the bracket, sparking despair and ecstasy with no space for breath. This year we knew, but nevertheless our expectations were once again exceeded with a new emotional roller coaster. It was the end of a league phase which brought a record number of goals, 487, and the tighter winning margins than we have previously witnessed. And if goal number 487 is scored by a goalkeeper in minute 98 and sends his team to the next round, well, I have no words left. Reality at this point goes far beyond fiction. Added to that, there are the surprise packages. So big congratulations to FK Karabakh on becoming the first team from Azerbaijan to advance to the UEFA Champions League knockout stages, and also to Bodo Glimt, who are also through in their first league phase campaign. All 4 seeding pots are well represented in the remaining 24 clubs, with at least 4 teams from each pot advancing to the knockout stage. A perfect demonstration of UEFA football's, European football's strength in depth. Now, 16 teams who ranked from 9th to 24th in the table are waiting to find out who they will meet in the knockout phase playoff draw. Well done to all of you, and good luck, and keep your dream alive. Today's draw offers us a first glimpse of the path to Budapest, with clubs and fans able to plot their potential route all the way from the playoff round to the final of May 30th. The matches of this round, combined then with the next draw at the end of February, will complete the jigsaw puzzle of the road to the final, and you will know everything. As usual, at all draws, a special guest is with us to assist with the operations. I will let you find out in this video who today's legend is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Robert Pires.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bienvenue, welcome.
Bonjour, boa tarde. Hello, good afternoon.
Fantastic to see you here. We saw some highlights from your playing days. You have a lot of experience in this competition, of course. Over 80 matches. Of course, you played a final as well. A lot has changed, though. New format. Yeah. What do you think about that, and how did you live all the emotions of Wednesday night? It was crazy, right? Yeah,
it was crazy. I love the new format. Of course, it's totally different, but sometimes you need to change. The new rules, but yeah, it was like I think right. So it was very exciting. I watched great games, good goals, good skills. So it was it was a perfect evening.
I want to ask you about Arsenal. Perfect record, 8 wins in 8 matches. How have you seen their campaign, and do you consider them to be one of the top favorites for the title?
If we look at the standing, yes. I want to say yes, because they played games, 8 win. They scored 23 goals. They only conceded 4. So this is a great performance from Arteta and the players. So they did a very good job. But now, you know, this is a new competition, new pressure. So it's not the same. But Arsenal, like, I don't know, Man City, Chelsea, or Bayern or La Juve, yeah, they have a favorite.
You say that it's not the same now, and I'd like you to tell us, as someone who had so much experience in knockout rounds, what changes in the mentality of a team, of a coach, of the players?
Well, you know, if you want to reach the final and to lift the trophy, everything is very important. All the details is very important, yeah. But you need to be consistent. Sometimes it's very difficult. You need to find the balance, especially for the manager, and you need the team, of course, talent, because some talent they can make a difference on the field. But it's this competition is very attractive.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to put you to work in just a couple of minutes. Before we do that, let's take a quick look at a final video that will explain today's technical procedure and the key draw principles as well.
The fixtures for the knockout phase playoffs are determined by means of a draw, conducted in accordance with the following principles. The draw features the clubs that finish the league phase in positions 9 to 24. The clubs ranked 9 to 16 are seeded, and those ranked 17 to 24 are unseeded. Clubs are paired based on their final position to form 4 seeded pairs and 4 unseeded pairs. Pairing 9 and 10 will play against either of the clubs in pairing 23 and 24. The clubs in pairing 11 and 12 will play against either of the clubs in pairing 21 and 22, and so on. The draw is carried out using a seeding bracket, with each pair of teams allocated 2 predefined potential positions according to their league phase rankings. In principle, the seeded clubs play the return leg matches at home. 8 bowls are prepared for the draw, with the balls containing the names of the seeded and unseeded teams placed in the corresponding marked bowls. The draw starts with the unseeded teams, with the bowl containing pairing 23 and 24. 1 ball is drawn and is opened to display the team. The first team drawn from this bowl is placed in their reserved spot on the silver side of the bracket. The other unseeded team of the pairing is then drawn and allocated in the corresponding reserved spot on the blue side of the bracket. The same procedure is carried out with the remaining unseeded teams. Once all the pairings of unseeded teams have been drawn and assigned to an appropriate position on the bracket, the draw continues with the seeded teams, starting with the pairing 15 and 16. The process is the same as for the unseeded teams, with the first team drawn allocated to the reserved designated spot on the silver side of the bracket, and the second team on the blue side. The procedure is repeated for the remaining pairings, finishing with the pairing 9 and 10 to complete the pairings for the knockout round playoffs. After the draw, if it becomes apparent that any ties are affected by city or stadium clashes, these clashes will be resolved in accordance with the principles set by the Club Competitions Committee for city and stadium clashes. The calendar of all knockout phase playoff matches will be available tonight.
So the video explanation was clear, I guess, and as explained in the video, here you see the 8 bowls containing the pairs of seeded and unseeded teams according to their league phase rankings. The draw starts with the unseeded teams in descending ranking order from 23-24 to 17-18. Then we continue with the seeded pairs from 15-16 to 9-10. For all pairs, as explained, the first team drawn goes to the silver side, the one that you see on your left, and the second goes to the blue side to the right. So that's all. Let's now take a look at the teams in the pairs, and then we start the draw. So we start with the seeded teams. Position 9 is Real Madrid, and position 10 is Internazionale Milano. Position 11, Paris Saint-Germain, and 12, Newcastle United. Then position 13, Juventus, and 14, Atletico de Madrid. Position 15 is Atalanta, and 16, Bayer Leverkusen. Then we move to the unseeded teams, which are position 17, Borussia Dortmund, and 18, Olympiacos. Then position 19, Bruges, and position 20, Galatasaray. Position 21, AS Monaco, and 22, Karabag. Position 23, Bodo Glimt, and position 24, Benfica. So we are ready. We know the teams, Robert. Now it's your time. Please,
let's go.
Yes, shuffle positions 23 and 24. And here we go with the first team to take place, position on the silver side.
Benfica.
So Benfica, after the incredible performance of last Wednesday, now Benfica taking the position on this side, on the silver side, and we can show the second team of the pair, which will obviously go to the opposite side.
Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt, the blue side for Bodo Glimt, their debut in the UEFA Champions League knockout phase and taking their country, Norway, for the first time to this phase of the competition since the 90s, so almost 30 years ago. That was the time of Rosenborg. Now, we go ahead and we draw positions 21 and 22, which involve Monaco and Karabag.
Monaco.
So AS Monaco, the finalists of 2004, they are placed on the silver side, and we continue. We show the other team in this pair.
Karabag.
Karabag FK, first time ever for Azerbaijan in a UEFA Champions League knockout phase, and Karabag is placed on the blue side of the bracket. Let's go ahead. We are now drawing positions 19 and 20 that involve Bruges and Galatasaray.
Galatasaray.
Galatasaray is now placed on the silver side, only Turkish club with having won a major UEFA trophy. 2 trophies actually in 2000, UEFA Cup and Super Cup. We show now the other name for the blue side.
Club Bruges.
Bruges, only Belgian club in a Champions League final or European Cup final in 1978. So Bruges goes blue, and we have only 2 unseeded teams to be drawn, positions 17 and 18, which concern Borussia Dortmund and Olympiacos.
Borussia Dortmund.
And we start with Borussia Dortmund for the silver side. Borussia have crossed the mark of 200 matches in the competition on match day 3 this year against Copenhagen. So Borussia is silver, and the other team goes blue.
Olympiacos.
The other team is obviously Olympiacos, only Greek club having won a UEFA competition, 2 actually, also Olympiacos in 2024, UEFA Conference League and the UEFA Youth League. And now we start seeing the matches, because for the moment we have drawn teams in their positions, but now with the seeded teams, we start the pairings. So we start obviously with positions, yes please. We start with positions 15 and 16, which will face 17 and 18. These 2 teams are Atalanta and Leverkusen.
Atalanta.
Atalanta, Bergamasca Calcio, goes to play against Borussia Dortmund. They played once in the past, in the season 2017-18. That was the round of 32. just for the sake of correctness, we draw also the other team, paired with Atalanta and
Bayer Leverkusen.
yes, of course, Bayer 04 Leverkusen going to play against Olympiacos. The last time happened not long ago this season, so they have a rematch in the same season. Olympiacos, Leverkusen, these are the first two pairings. We go with the positions 13-14 now. 13-14, Juventus or Atletico de Madrid.
Juventus.
Juventus facing Galatasaray in this round 6 times in the past. The last time was a dramatic match, interrupted with the snow and restarted, and everybody for sure has the match in mind. We can, after Galatasaray Juventus, we can see the next one.
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico de Madrid facing Bruges. They played 8 times in the past. Last time happened in 22-23. So we go ahead. Positions 11 and 12, which are Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle.
Paris Saint-Germain.
So first team drawn is the title holders of Paris Saint-Germain after a very successful 2025, facing another French team. Never these two French teams have played in Europe in the past. Of course, they play many matches in Ligue 1. And Paris Saint-Germain, the same as last year, they will start their knockout campaign with against a French team. It was Stade Brestois last year.
Newcastle United.
And of course, Newcastle United will travel to Azerbaijan to take on Karabakh, and there are no previous experiences between these two clubs, and for Newcastle United, this will be the first appearance in a UEFA Champions League knockout phase. So only 2 teams are left in the pot to be drawn, and we're talking about positions 9 and 10, Real Madrid and Inter.
Real Madrid.
So first encounter is Real Madrid versus Benfica. So really not long ago they played. We all know what happened in that match. They played, by the way, 4 times, including a final in 1962. So Benfica, Real Madrid, and to conclude this lineup, now we have
Internazionale Milano.
Inter going to meet Bodo Glimt, against which they played only in the 70s, 1978-79, in the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. That's all for the knockout phase, knockout round of this phase. So.
Definitely, gentlemen, thank you so much. Well done. Let's have a quick recap of the knockout playoff round. We've got some fantastic matches to look forward at, as you would expect. An all-French affair between Monaco and Paris Saint-Germain. It's Galatasaray taking on Juventus, Benfica in a rematch against Real Madrid. Borussia Dortmund facing Atalanta. Over on the blue side of the draw, it's Karabakh making history for their country versus Newcastle. Club Rouge facing Atleti. Bodo Glimt will be locking horns with Inter, and Olympiacos will be playing Leverkusen. Now, as Giorgio mentioned, this is the first time we're having a look at the bracket here, where all 24 teams can see their potential road to the final in Budapest. Before we sign off, it's time to mark our calendars, of course. The first leg matches will take place on the 17th and 18th of February, with the returns scheduled for the 24th and 25th of February. That'll do it from all of us here at the House of European Football in Nyon, from Robert, Giorgio, and myself. Fantastic to have everyone here, everyone following around the world. It's goodbye for now. Take care. We'll see you again very soon.